Unscripted.
Joining a long list that includes such shitty GMs of Canadian sports franchises, such as Jim Benning, Craig fucking Button, Steve Tambolini, John Ferguson Jr., and Mark Bergevin. Oh, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention Jim Treliving's son. We have a new entry on that list, and his name is Masai Ujiri. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. As I like to say, he is just another moron humping a doorknob, and I feel so bad for the people of Toronto, and that's something I thought I would never say, because right now the people of Montreal are writing a letter, and it says, "Dear Toronto, to all of you who laughed at us when we gave away PK Subban for nothing, we cordially invite you to go fuck yourself." And you know what? I can't have any sympathy for this GM. This is a ridiculous deal. He bought high on a guy who wouldn't play not only for the Spurs, but doesn't want to play for you. He only wants to play all the way across the continent from your shitty northern outpost. This is a monumental face plant by Masai Ujiri, and it's making the Raptors a joke franchise to piss away a 59 win season, and then follow it up with not only firing the coach of the year, but your best player. It's unforgivable. The franchise is a joke, and Masai Ujiri, I don't even care about the Raptors, but you're pissing me off. Mr. Jansen, what do you have to say?
They gave up an awful lot for a rental. I totally agree that DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry needed to go. They needed to change the chemistry in the locker room. They needed to change something. I don't believe in my heart of hearts that Kawhi Leonard is even going to report to Toronto. And on top of that, you give up a protected number one in 2019. You give up a backup center, the Jake Jakob, whatever the hell his name is, the kid out of Utah that was an integral part of the bench for Toronto last year. You give all that away, and for a guy that I really don't believe is going to even report to the Toronto Raptors. First and foremost, I feel bad for DeMar DeRozan. Not that he got traded, but supposedly he got lied to. He was told by the Raptors brass at the just completed Summer League in Las Vegas that he would not be traded. Well, Summer League ended on Sunday in Las Vegas, and here we are on Wednesday, and he's been traded. So San Antonio wins this deal on a lot of fronts, folks. They win the deal because there is an outstanding relationship already between Greg Popovich and DeMar DeRozan from their time together on Team USA when Krzyzewski was the coach and Popovich was his lead assistant. So there's an established relationship there. DeMar DeRozan maybe isn't not your biggest and best clutch player, but he is a four-time All-Star. Kawhi Leonard was not going to show up in San Antonio, so you get a four-time All-Star, you get a conditional 2019 first-round draft pick, you get a former first-round draft pick from that kid from Utah, the center, and you basically you trade all of that for Danny Green. I know that Ujiri is trying to replicate what the Oklahoma City Thunder did last year in trading for Paul George, who came out and said that he was going to play in no uncertain terms when his contract year was up and he became an unrestricted free agent. He was going to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, Sam Presti, the general manager in Oklahoma City, did a hell of a sales job, and they got George's name on a 4-year contract. That was a surprise to me. But if Masai Ujiri gets Kawhi Leonard's name on a 4-year contract or an extension of any kind with the Raptors, that will be the biggest miracle since, I don't know, Moses parted the Red Sea. I don't see it happening. Again, I don't mean to sound repetitive, but I don't think Kawhi Leonard even reports to Toronto. Not only does he go, if he thinks that he's being underpaid in San Antonio, think about it this way as well. He was paying no state income tax in the great state of Texas. In Canada, he'll get unbelievably taxed to the point where he'll be so frustrated he'll probably take the knife and turn it on himself. So I can't believe that Masai Ujiri, after having already bungled the coaching situation in both the firing of Dwayne Casey and then ultimately the hiring of Nick Nurse, 3 weeks after everybody else had already hired their coach for next season, of the teams that had an open job. Not only has he screwed that up, now he takes an unbelievable risk on a guy that has already said many times he does not want to go to Toronto. The only place he would entertain going to in the Eastern Conference was Philadelphia, supposedly. And so I just really believe that Masai Ujiri just keeps adding nails to his coffin. Doesn't bother me one damn bit, but the Toronto Raptors had a chance here, not to win a championship, but to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and beyond with a very much watered down Eastern Conference. Now we've all suggested that Boston and Philly are going to battle for the top spot in the East, but Toronto is right there too. And if you get into a playoff series with the Celtics or the 76ers, and let's say the 76ers, Joel Embiid gets hurt, or any number of players for Boston gets hurt, and all of a sudden Toronto has a chance to make their first finals appearance. Now, basically, you have traded a four-time All-Star, a former number 1 draft pick, and a future number 1 2019 draft pick for Danny Green. Masai Ujiri, start updating your resume, pal, because the powers that be for the Toronto Raptors, which I believe obviously has something to do with the Rogers media family, they're going to be looking for your ass pretty soon, because the Toronto Raptors just got worse today. There's no question about it.
Unscripted.